Hi, my name's David Wong, and today I'd like to tell you a little bit about how to improve your tone while playing the violin. One of the great ways of doing this is to listen to some very wonderful violinists. Classics like Jascha Heifetz, David Oistrakh, and carefully listen to how they're playing, the sounds that they're making, and focus in about how they're going about doing it. A lot of times when you hear better players, you generally can get better yourself too. It's the same as if you were an artist and going into a museum and checking out the different artwork. Also, experiment with doing different things with your bow. Maybe you want to use a little bit more pressure to get a louder sound. You can also experiment playing closer to the bridge. Another thing that you can do is to vary the different types of vibrato that you use. Now, one speed of vibrato can be a little bit boring, so what you want to do is experiment maybe vibrating a little faster, a little slower, and these things generally will change the sound of your instrument and your tone in general. Another thing you want to do is to make sure that you're bowing straight. So you can pull a nice straight bow, instead of if you're making a little bit of a sloppy crooked bow, you'll hear that there are these little sort of noises that happen in between, and it's going to make an inconsistent sound on your instrument, and you'll definitely not sound as well as you would sound if you were pulling a straight bow. Another great thing to do is to consistently check the setup of your instrument. Generally, if we should be taking our instrument to our luthier very similarly as you would take your car to the mechanic. You want to make sure that everything is in order, make sure your fingerboard is plain so you don't get any buzzing, make sure that your nut is the right height. If it's not, you can easily also get buzzing like that. Make sure the bridge height is correct. All these little differences change the sound of your instrument a lot. So just maintenance. Same thing with the bow. You want to get consistent rehairs. You want to make sure that the hair isn't too long, that the weather hasn't affected it. You want a good feel on your bow, because the bow is just as important as the instrument. You would want to change the tires on your car regularly, just as you would change the hair on your bow. You wouldn't want your tires to be running a little bit low, and then your car obviously is not going to drive as well. Just a little bit of care really helps. Making sure you change your strings regularly on your violin. If you don't change your strings regularly, a lot of times they could sound very dull, and they start to lose that bit of luster. I'm sure many of you know that when you change the strings in your instrument, that first bow on the first bowing, you're always like, wow, it's so bright and new, and then you work them in and they start to feel comfortable, and really helps. So these are just a few of the ways that you can make your tone improve. As you can see, a lot of them are just purely maintenance issues, and other ones are just regular practice of pulling the string differently and using different vibrato techniques, and a lot of these things can help you sound so much better. Thank you so much.